get to hang out with these people. You gave me a microphone? That was dumb.
They gave me one too.
So it's like, this is great. I'm having a good old time. As long as I can make one of those camera guys laugh, I'll be happy. How are you doing? You good? All right, sweet. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, Sundays are a lot of fun. One, it's like, it's a little more mellow than Saturday. Saturday, you're just on, you're having all these amazing conversations. Sunday, you're coming a little bit down from that high, but you're still there enjoying it, but you get more time with the fans. And then I always try and go back, like I said, to my kids, and I miss them dearly. It's so much fun to get home for like the Sunday night cuddles. So we live in Tennessee now, so a lot of these conventions are super close to Tennessee, so I get that like flight that gets me home. So thank you, I'm just kidding. I love doing these conventions. I love you fans for supporting it. I love that it's multi-generational. So we get to meet the moms who came to set during Twilight 1 in 2007.
They weren't supposed to, but they did.
They weren't. We thought they were producers, but then they would have little kids, and we take photos with them, not knowing who they were, and then they'll show us a photo and be like, that's her. And I'm like, wow, you're a lot bigger now. And it's like this multi-generational project that we were so blessed to be a part of. So thank you guys, if any of you guys are out here. Are there any, can I get a raise of hands, are there any multi-generational Twilight fans in here? Well, I thought there'd be a lot more. So, is everyone alive in here? Raise your hand. All right, we'll edit that. All right, thank you guys.
Everyone raised their hands. So many of you are dead.
I didn't raise my hand.
I like it, yeah.
It's called self-awareness if you know you're dead inside.
Well, listen, you asked us how we are. How are you? How are you?
You know, I'm doing so good. I'm excited to talk to you guys.
Really?
Yeah, I've been talking
What
for
are we
a long
gonna
time.
talk
And
about?
I got to wear my colorful shoes today.
Awesome. Who are they or where are they from?
I think, oh god, they're either from Box Lunch or Hot Topic. They're from the Wonder Woman 1984, like, merch line.
Oh shit, I gotta take a picture of those. My wife would love those. What size do you? How much?
Just like a little small, I'm like a 6.
I think Kellan just tried to buy the moderator. He's like, how much? Not for the shoe. Get inside.
I didn't sign anything that said I couldn't be bought. I signed other things, but I didn't say I couldn't be bought. Kellan, though, if you'll indulge me here, I want to start with a silly one. And I'm sorry, I just have to. I need to know what it's like to arm wrestle Kristen Stewart. I feel like you're one of maybe like 4 people in the world who's ever done this.
What's the other one?
That's exactly
I
it.
thought I was special. I took her arm card. It is. Oh, this is in Twilight After Dark. Sorry, guys. You know what? It's funny because we love Sundays. We love these guys. You know what? That was when acting really had to happen. You know, Emmett was very much Kellan. I got to just be me on set. But then when you have to act like you're going to break someone's hand and crumble it to pieces, you have to show a lot of reservation. Is that the word? Okay. Yeah. Word of the day. So yeah, you know,
It's just like going down. It's huge and it just looks so good. We got tiny little Kristen there. And it's just such a great moment in the series stuff. Yeah, I was there for it, man. That's awesome.
Well, obviously at this point, it's been years since the first movie came out. Thank you. It's been several years since the first movie came out, several years since the last movie came out. You guys have been, Twilight's been such a part of your life for such a long time at this point. So I would love to know if you could go back and experience any part of the journey, and I hate that word, but any part of the journey for the first time over again, what would you love to go back and experience?
Why do you hate the word journey? Did you work at the shoe store?
Yeah, that's where I got these.
That would make you hate it. Otherwise, like, why would you hate a journey? The journey is the destination. You know, the journey of life, the journey of a character, like the arc of the story. Like, going on a journey is the best part of life.
And not a bad band, also.
No, you're pretty great.
It feels like an overused word, but truly, if you could experience any part of the Twilight journey again for the first time, what would it be?
I mean, the first one for sure. Like if I knew what it was gonna be, not that I had expectations at all, but I think I would have enjoyed the anonymity. Is that the word?
Anonymity.
Anonymity! That wasn't the word.
You said it, you just have an accent.
You're like my wife, she's like, I mess up so many words, I switch them around. Like relevant and then relative. She's like, it's this thing, it's like then and then. I'm like, whatever. But I was a math geek. Anyways, the first movie, because we didn't have security guards, there weren't really paparazzi. There were some twine moms with daughters, but it was just, if we knew that we were going to have this journey, I would have been more, I guess, more present during that first one. I didn't realize, like, because that was my favorite movie to do, especially like the baseball scene. And when you're shooting an independent, when you're shooting an independent movie, you don't really know how it's gonna do. And like during the baseball scene, it would rain randomly. The sun would come out, and like two bad things that you can't be shooting with, right? We need it nice and cloudy. Catherine had us put hats on, and we're like, how is this gonna work with continuity when we already shot half a day of stuff without hats? And you're just like, oh man, is this movie not gonna do well? Because we're all hopeful, because there were multiple books. But I think, yeah, I just would have enjoyed that first movie more and been more present. What about you?
I'll be honest, I don't believe in living backwards. I live forwards. I live in the moment, and I look towards the brighter tomorrow, right? And so when I look back, I kind of find myself second guessing or doing all those things. And I don't think that's what life is for. I think life is for being present together and finding those moments. And maybe when we do look back and say, I wish I could have been more present then, it's us telling us to be present now.
Exactly. Yeah. And I learned that. But you're probably just saying that because you're married to Alice, who can see the future. Right?
That does help.
I don't live in the past, I live in the future because my wife tells me all about it, yeah.
My wife's like, man, shut up, what are we gonna do?
I'm gonna age beautifully, Jasper. Perfect.
Hey, but you know, I'm just grateful to be here now with all of you guys. I think I have like even better of a relationship with my castmates now than even we did then. I love these guys. They were a pleasure to work with, but knowing them as human beings now and present, and seeing them with their kids and their wives and their spouses, their families, it's just such a joy. And then getting to meet y'all, man, this is really cool. You got to understand, we are actors. There's a lot of different kinds of forms of art that you can make by yourself. Painting, photography, drawing, writing. You cannot act by yourself. I've tried it, and they lock you up for a little bit. It's called 5150. It's involuntary. I'm just kidding. I didn't have it. But listen, so we're really grateful. You guys are not fans. You're our employers. You are our bosses. You guys, every time you buy a ticket, you're making our dreams come true. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or have the DVDs and you bring it out. I've met so many fans who have had books from 15, 20 years ago. Some in beat up condition, I'm in really good conditions, and both are great. It's just really cool the support that you guys all have, and we're just forever grateful because we love you all, and we love doing these and giving back. So please come to our tables, take a moment, let us just give our thanks and gratitude, give you some bear hugs, and just show our support for you guys.
I can confirm that a hug from both of these men is delightful because it just happened to be like a couple of minutes ago and I'm still kind of living there. So
Wait till you get both of us at the same time. Like Oreo cookies.
As you talk about being present, I do want to say Twilight brought in being present in the theater, right? One of my favorite theatrical experiences came because of Twilight, and it was in the final film, and it was a moment with your co-star Peter Cuccinelli, who unfortunately could not be with us today. When his head got cut off, there's no feeling quite like being in the theater for that moment, for the reaction.
That was your favorite part. Because most of them hated the
No. I was
So you didn't like Carla, is that what you're saying?
awful guy, awful. This is my hot take. No, I'm fully kidding.
Well, you kind of screw up with Edward. I don't know what he did to that boy to make him think that, his choices he's making in New Moon are good choices. Let's be real. That was an emotionally abusive relationship. Alex and Jasper for the win. Second place goes to Rosalie and Emmett. Sorry, you had a question?
I'm thinking over your ranking of the couples. I think that's a fair assessment. I don't hate Carlisle. Just so we're clear, I don't hate Carlisle.
Oh, the head thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
his head is out in the theater. That experience with a crowd was insane. Being part of that like collective gasp at what was happening. And I would love to know, what did you guys get to experience this at the premiere? Like, is this something that you got to experience with the crowd?
Dude, it was the best thing in the world. All right, so we are in LA for the premiere. Now, this is the Breaking Dawn Part 2. This is the big event in Hollywood. This is one of the biggest premieres that's ever happened, really. And it's weird to be a part of something like that, to be honest. But it's really cool. So we show up. It's people have been camping out there for days. I think we had a couple campers. Anybody camped? That was you, right? All right. That's why I looked at you when I said it. And I was like, anybody else? It's just you. Stand up, take a bow. Come on, stand up. Stand up. Were you there opening? Did you get to go in? And you got to see it, right?
I'm telling you, man.
I'm gonna tell. Well, you sit down. I'm gonna tell. Now you sit down. Come on.
It was a goal for cheers.
So we were in LA Live, which is not a movie theater. It is a big concert experience. They set up a movie theater system in there, and we have about 2,000, 3,000 people watching this movie. So suddenly we get to the big face-off. Here we are. And, you know, sweet Carlisle goes up there. He's trying to make things right, and then all of a sudden they jump up there. It's in the air, and you see Aro land, and then you see Carlisle's head. And I swear to God, y'all, the screams, it sounded like a Jonas Brothers concert. It was just people were screaming, people falling out of their chairs. I heard there was ambulances on standby. Some people fainted. Some people legitimately ran out of the theater in protest and hadn't figured it out till much later when someone had to be like, no, there's some more that happens in the film that you might want to see. But it was an incredible experience. Honestly, probably my top, honestly, probably the most fun I've ever had watching a movie was giggling to my wife about how freaking out people were, and she's just elbowing me and being like, shut up. And I'm just crying, laughing. It's like, you can't laugh, everybody's crying.
You had to know this was coming, right? Like when you're getting ready for the premiere, you're probably like, this is gonna be a moment.
Well, my other wife, Alice, told me that. Wasn't he cool though? I mean, it was so cool experience.
And now that I'm married and have kids, and talking to some fans, I'm curious, your reaction. People were like, yes, it was seeing Peter Carlisle's head, but the reaction of Esme, like his wife who just lost the love of his life in such a horrific way, and that just gave me chills thinking about that. Like, reactions are so What about you? Can I ask you? Can you come up here and can you tell us your? Can you tell us what you like? Come sit here so we can see you. So what? How long did you stand that for?
The entire week, like whenever. I think it was like we had a hotel room, but we stayed. Like
You're one of those like glampers who have a nice hotel and then you say you're in a hostel just to like act like you're in a hostel.
they provided us with tents, and so we just.
Wait, well, what? People, I did not know that. I thought people sponsored tents? Were you there when I tried to bring donuts? Yeah? Krispy Kreme! And then I got in trouble because they're like, people can sue you, and I'm like, so I ate a lot of donuts then. Anyway, so how was it for you?
So I have inappropriate laughter, and when that scene happened, we were like laughing hysterically, like me and my group. Yeah, but I mean, it was fun.
Did you tell them who brought you a burger?
Burger King.
I am the burger nerd. Yeah. Don't trust the clown. Don't trust the wing. You trust the burger nerd.
I brought us vitamin water, so we were just covered.
That's kind of nice.
Was I supposed to ask you guys for food during this panel? I feel like no now.
So when we were doing like they camped down for the last couple films, like it was like a week of people camping.
Yeah.
And so we did have sponsorships, and they invited us to come down. They were like, hey, go meet everybody, go give a little bit of encouragement. They've been in these lines for a long time. And so we went out there, and then literally, as we're about to walk out and say hi, they hand us bags of burgers, and they go give them burgers. And it was like this, I remember I asked you, I was like, was it weird that I gave you? I felt strange. I was like, you were hungry, yeah, and I love burgers, so I just felt weird giving them away. These are all for me.
You got handed a bag of burgers. Thank you.
All right. Anyway, okay. Yeah. More questions?
Yeah, I do. So as we talk about those final two movies, I am so interested in that decision because Twilight was one of the first franchises. I think it was the second one to do it. So Potter split up its final installment into 2 movies, and then shortly thereafter, Twilight split up its final movie into 2 movies. And so I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts were at the time. Harry Potter.
That was above our pay grade. That's producers making more money. That's all it is. Let's be real. But I think they did a really good job because I think the themes of Breaking Dawn as a book are very much split into 2. I think it makes sense. I think Melissa Rosenberg is the unsung hero of the Twilight franchise. And Melissa Rosenberg wrote all the scripts. She adapted every single script from each book. And I think what she and Bill Condon were able to accomplish for Breaking Dawn, no one saw that coming. Not even Alice. No, we're making dad jokes over here. Sorry. But you know, it was a beautiful moment. Yeah, it was really cool.
I love it. I also, as you talk about handing out burgers, I'm curious in fan interactions for both of you. But Jackson, I have to imagine you have some of the strangest ones just because of Jasper's proclivity to stare. So when you're out in public, I have to imagine people are just, like really giving you the eye. And is it a matter of like, are they a fan? Just a little weird. Like, tell me how you dealt with the stare in real time.
Well, the weirdest is when I walk by a reflective surface, and I'm just like, who's that? Weird eyes. Oh, it's me. Yeah, it's I have this most wonderful fan interactions possible, and I don't like calling them fan interactions, but like I meet people that have been a supporter of my career, and that's awesome, man. And it's really fun for me. We have fun with the Jasper stare. I think it's people are like, where's that come from? And it's like, listen, here's where the Jasper stare comes from. Edward can read minds, right? So when he's bringing over this little girl to meet a bunch of his vampire brethren, and Jasper's like, well, Edward, read my mind. What am I thinking, Ed? Thinking she's too young for you. And we have fun with it, man. And I just gotta say, thank you for all of you guys coming up, having fun with it, and making Twilight like for you. It's a very, art is subjective, and that means it is your interpretation that matters. Like any painter will say the same thing. It's like I have an idea when I paint, and when I hang that on the wall, it is for the audience, it is for the collective. Whatever you think of it, that's what it is. So if you have fun with it, you enjoy it, do it, man. Enjoy it the way that makes you happy because it's yours. We made this for you to enjoy, to have fun with. Some people use it as a crutch to help them get through a rough time in their lives. But remember, that strength to get through that time comes from you. It's not from the crutch. The crutch helps you. And that's what art should do. So thank you for enjoying our little weird series of vampire films. You guys are the best.
I hate to go against your credo of not looking back, but I do, because there's something interesting about the Twilight series, is that it almost looked so different, because the role of Edward came to both of you in different ways at one point. Hell, you got the audition offer, and you turned down auditioning for Edward, yes? Because it was too depressing. And then you read the role initially.
Yeah, I mean, I had been doing Generation Kill in Africa for 7 months, so I was doing something that was very time and sensitive, and a lot of death, a lot of destruction, and away from my family. So I wasn't in the best peace of mind mindset. I just wanted peace and joy in my life. Again, so when that audition came, and I read it, I just wasn't in that sort of mindset, and to see myself after my manager was pitching it. He's like, it's a book series, and who knows if it's successful, you can do multiple movies. I'm like, it's even worse. I could play this depressing character who I saw him as multiple. I was like, I know it's not for me. So I passed on it. And then, I think you were up for it, and Rob, and then the actor just didn't work out. And when they sent me the lines for Emmett, I read them. There's like 4 lines, right? They're all like funny, or in my head they're funny. I was like, oh, this guy's cool. And I read him in the books, and I was like, yeah, he's great. At least he's, in my head, the comedic relief. Man, a few words, but they're funny, and so I got to eat those up on set whenever I could. What about you? Because you went really far.
I think, Jackson, you got down to the final 4 at the end there?
You're the 4th person you're talking about it. I know it's down to Robert Pattinson, myself, and actually Henry Cavill. Yeah. So Henry Cavill, this is the true story. So Henry Cavill is Stephanie Meyer's pick. That's who she really wanted to be. That's who she saw in her head. So when they trotted me out as an option, I was Catherine Hardwick's favorite, and when they trotted me out, I was like, no, it's not, that's not it. And they wanted the Harry Potter guy, so they brought in Cedric Diggory, and now we have Robert. And I think Robert Pattinson was the correct choice, 100%. I really love his performances everywhere. I make fun of him when I tease him because he's my brother, and I think it's what we do. You know, we tease each other, we have fun. But like, I had a lot of fun doing the audition. It's, you know, every single person in Hollywood was going out for Edward or for Twilight at one point. And it was really cool, man. It was really nice to be considered up there. It's been a fun ride. It really has.
Can I ask you, Jackson? So like, my manager told me, well, I don't think anyone really knew, because Summit got the rights, but a lot of production houses and studios passed on Twilight. So I don't think anyone really knew. I think, yeah. Have you ever auditioned for something, like I've gone out for a couple Marvel things. Have you ever gotten out for something that you knew was going to be huge and like you really wanted, or there's a lot of pressure in a way?
Oh yeah, I got to one of the most embarrassing moments of my career. You guys want to hear this? Yeah. This is the most embarrassing moment in my career, for sure. I literally cried in my car for 30 minutes after this. Okay, so you hear me now. I don't stutter. Growing up, I had a really bad stutter. Now, when I was in 3rd grade, they put me to speech therapy. I've been in speech therapy. I've done voice lessons to lose my accent for characters. I've worked hard on this, y'all. Very hard to get where I'm at now. I had a meeting with Ron Howard.
Oh.
Yeah. Very nervous, little Jackson. It's for, it came out. It's with Matthew McConaughey. I'm blanking on the name. The Man of the Tower? No. It was the Matthew McConaughey film in Dark Tower. Thank you. It was for Dark Tower, and they weren't sure how old they were going to go with the boy. So I was being considered for Ron Howard's film, and I was very nervous. Dude, my stutter came back harder than it's ever happened to me before. And literally, he goes, "Hey, Jackson, it's really nice to meet you." I'm like, in my head, freaking Ron Howard knows my name, crazy. He's like, "Oh, so I heard you were in a band. Tell me about it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in a band." And literally, that's how I started the meeting. And it went downhill from there, you know? And it was just like, I had this meeting, and I go out to my car, and I know it didn't go well, because I was just making a fool of myself, but Ron Howard is the sweetest man ever. He just kind of like laughed it off, just kept going, didn't even make a deal of it. It was super sweet, kept talking to me, and then I walked into my car, and I legitimately cried in my car for 30 minutes, just thinking, I went back to a dark place, going backwards, right? And I went back, and I just like, it really hurt me, but then talking to other actors, talking to other people, being like, you know, we've all had experiences in our lives where we just maybe put our foot in our mouth and we feel silly. And somebody told me, they're like, listen, you think that's the first time this happened with Ron Howard? You think it's the very first time that he's had someone go in there, audition, or read with him, or meet him, and be embarrassed? And I was like, no, probably not. And they're like, just, you're fine. Look forward, don't look behind. There we go. That's all, folks.
Kellan, you stuck that in there really briefly, but I do want to circle back to it. What Marvel things did you go out for?
Yeah, the typical ones. I was trying to make a joke, but not. I was trying to think of Scarlett Johansson character.
Went out for Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
I can see you as the character.
Right?
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch. great.
The red
It was a
meat.
mantis, you know?
No, I mean, I remember I've known Chris Hemsworth for a very long time, and you know, when Thor came out, and then Captain America came out, auditioned for those. It's really lucky. The industry's changed a lot. You know, pre-COVID, you'd go in person, so you really did. It was special when you got called up for an audition, especially one of the massive ones like Marvel, because cast and directors can only see a few, maybe 20 actors a day, and if they do it for 2 weeks. Now everything's virtual, so they can see hundreds of tapes, and you're hopeful that they see all your takes, or you know, not just watch your slate and fast forward anything. But it was really special to go in there, and the characters were really cool. Someone asked me, they're like, "Oh, did you get dressed up for your audition?" And I'm like, "No," because they kind of just. They didn't want you to do that. I think some of those things, and sometimes I dress up. You want to play and feel like the character, even in audition tapes. Like, if it's a ranch, I'll put on flannel and like cowboy hat. If he's a
Did you
cowboy.
dress up for Evan?
For Emmett? I did.
Yeah.
Funny story. So I auditioned for Captain America and Thor. Went to the second round and then nothing further. So I don't know how many rounds it were. Both Chris's were great. If I went by my middle name, Kellan Christopher Lutz, I think I probably would have gotten a different role. You know, Chris Pratt, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth. You know, it's Chris Lutz. I mean, I'll call my agent later. But for Emmett, so going back to Generation Kill, we were 32 dudes playing military dress up. We were Marines depicting Generation Kill in Iraq and Baghdad. In Africa, Mozambique, Zambia, Namibia, we were in the middle of nowhere for 7 months. So all we did was eat a lot of protein, pay homage to Emmett and his eggs. We would eat tons of eggs and just lift boulders. We were working out, doing push-ups on our Humvees, just because we're dudes challenging each other. So I got yoked. I was pretty big when I played football. I got really, really big and just like stocky. And so then when the audition came back, and actually the guy who had my role, he just wasn't big enough, and it was written as like the big brother. And so when I walked into the audition, it's one of these confidence builders where I felt the part. I wasn't trying to, I was just him. But you see other actors, and I've done push-ups in auditions, you know, trying to get your chest, you know, you wear a white beard, you walk in, but I do 50 push-ups just to really get the veins popping, which is, you know, my superpower. But it's, you go in there, and I remember walking past, there's this like hallway, there's this one guy, and he's doing push-ups, and you know, I just walk past, and he looks up, and he's like, oh. And he like gets up and it didn't click, you know, until like I walked past the door, but I was like, oh, you know. And I did the audition, and funny enough, like I did not care about the audition, so a lot of times when you don't care, when the camera will read desperation, the cast directors will read desperation. There's been some projects where I really wanted it, and I was just kind of desperate, and it just seemed funny. But the most things I've booked is, not that I didn't respect it or honor it, I just didn't care, right? Like God gives me it, as long as I can like step through the door, you know, as long as I knock and He'll open it. You just have to be prepared for when the opportunity comes. And so I went in there, and I really didn't want to do it, because I really wanted to just go home with my mom and like see my dog and stuff like that, and see my family. And so I did the audition, cast director's there, you know, I said my 4 lines. I was like, oh, cool. Like, usually you don't cut the audition short. You wait for casting, like, okay, great, that was good. We'll see you later, Kellan. But I said the lines, I'm like, all right, cool, thanks, guys. Okay, cool, I gotta go. I was gonna catch my flight to Arizona. So, and this is in California. So then I'm going to the airport. I'm like, you know, I really get a call from my manager. He's like, hey, they really like what you did. I'm like, who? Like, with audition, I'm like, already? I didn't realize that they already had someone cast that. They have to, like, he was already up playing baseball, practice upstate, and they were ready. They just needed an Emmett. So then they're like, hey, they want to fly you up to, was it Oregon? Were you guys in Oregon for the first one? Portland. to audition with Catherine. I'm like, Arizona, Portland's wet, I want to go see my mom. And so I changed my flight. I ended up going to Portland, Oregon to meet Catherine. I'd never really done anything like that where they like fly you out to audition with the director, but I'm always like, sure God, like if this is a door to open, bless it. And so I went, had my carry-on, get up there, I meet Catherine, she's in the hotel room, you know, they're like, oh, go to her hotel room, and I'm like, is this one you know. So I go, and she was really great. She's like, hi Kellan, nice to meet you. You know, I saw your audition tape, really big energy. We're talking, and just talking about the character. I did the audition, we're just sharing stories. She's like, so a lot of them went into cat training, and you know, like, how would you do a cat? I'm like, I don't think Emmett's a cat. I think he's more like a bear. She's like, oh, I like that, you know? And so we were just chatting. I'm like, you know, again, she's just so full of energy. And I think before that, they were in a van, and she had put up 2 headshots, myself and another actor. I think it was down to me and another guy, and Catherine's like, oh, does anyone know these actors? And Ashley's like, oh, Kellan, you love him. So I think I was like 99% already chosen, and that's why they flew me up there. And so I auditioned with Catherine. Catherine approved, and she's like, all right, cool. So you're gonna go to baseball training? And I'm like, what? How'd my carry-on? No, I start the movie. No real clothes. You know, I go, you know, we go to set, we do tests. I think they're punking me because I'm like, when do we get the fangs? And they're like, there's no fangs. I'm like, we're vampires. Have you read the books? You know. Fangs. I think you thought so too, right?
You and I were the only two, like everybody was punking us because we were like, we get teeth, right? And they were like, no, you have teeth. And we're like, yeah, but I mean, vampire teeth, let's be real.
Yeah, like, what is happening? And then it turned out into this amazing adventure. Yeah, I love these guys. I love that we all have families now. We're all on a group chat. We all talk. It's just really, it's cool to be a part of a project that, I love my character. I really, really do. I love that he's such a protector and loves life to the fullest. We have this beautiful family on and off screen. And then we have all of you that just fill that fairy tale sort of project to completion, which is really great. So thank you.
We have some pre-submitted fan questions. So the fans would like me to ask you, specifically Danny T from Iowa would like me to ask you, what's your unpopular Twilight opinion that you're willing to defend?
I think I said it earlier, but Jasper making Edward read his mind. Yeah, I bet a little young one. What happened? I just got a little bit way too redneck there. I don't know if I died on that hill, let's be real.
What's the Twilight hill you would die on?
Jasper and Alice are the best relationship in the film, in the series.
Kellan, for you.
Emmett has cheat meals.
I think we do that together. Like we sneak off into the city, it's like, no one's gonna miss.
I'll be back.
We're gonna go on a quick hunting trip.
Well, for Jackson,
One of my favorite scenes, so sorry, one of my favorite scenes was when you and I got to do like the bachelor party, and we're like jumping up in the window, and it was so fun because like we're just like, actually, you know, it's a set, so we're just basically like behind a couch like this, and we're just, oh look, I'm in the window now. Send him out, Bella. We're gonna have fun, you know, it was so silly and cute, you know, we're just having a great time. What's your question, sorry?
well, no, I was just based on your energy. I feel like that wasn't acting in that moment. The send them out, the messing around with them, just based on having you guys here. I feel like that was just you guys speaking.
And I think for real, like in the scene too, like you know, Edward's kind of like, I don't know if I want to go with them. And I think Rob was like that too. He's like, we're nuts, and Rob's like, oh, is that how you're going to do it? Shouldn't we all just be really sad?
Well, Jackson Santiago from Illinois would like to know, since Jasper can manipulate emotions. What was your technique for physically showing when he was using his powers on screen?
Well, you know, we didn't get to do it a lot. There's only really one time in the movie. In New Moon is when we really see it. And I think it's done with the camera move, which is really nice. It's such a hard thing to do when you're playing these kind of special ability characters. It's like, you know, you see with like Doctor Strange, right? If he's doing this, it's without the freaking, you know, CGI, it's kind of weird looking. It's like, what is he doing, Tai Chi in the park? And so, like, it's kind of one of those things where you're playing, you know, Professor X, you know, this is cool, but only because of the other stuff happening, right? So if I'm like, and nothing happens, it's like, is he having a bowel movement? What's going on? So I really think the camera does a lot of that when I move, and I wish I could have seen it a bit more. And what I find fascinating about Jasper is he is canonically one of the only vampires that can affect Bella, even though Bella has a shield. And so he's able to influence her emotions, which I find really fascinating. And I think that was a really cool thing. And pathokinesis is a fun aspect to explore. I think there's a really, I would have loved to explore maybe doing that in the origin sequences with Jasper to see how that works and to see how that would work in a battlefield, right? If everybody's running at you, if you can confuse the opponent, or if you can make them think that they're standing next to somebody that they hate and they're actually on the same team, and they start infighting, that's a really interesting ability. And we could see that, I think it'd be cool. But yeah, man, it's a pleasure. It was such a fun thing to do, to get to play this character with pathokinesis. I've never really seen that before. The ability to manipulate emotions, I think, is honestly a little bit of an actor's job. So it was really pretty cool for someone like me who's like a hardcore theater kid. I grew up in the theater. I love acting. I've studied all different types of like Meisner, Stella Adler, Alexander technique. I've done it all. And getting to play a character that like legitimately is just like, and you're sad now. It's pretty cool, man. It's fun.
Well, and I don't know if I hallucinated this memory, but I think there was also a little eyebrow quirk for you in the scene. Yeah.
I have an eyebrow quirk. I don't know what it is. It's not. It's kind of like one of those things where we kind of bring ourselves to every character, right? And so, like, I have big eyes. I have a French. I, you know, descended a little French German in my mother, and so I got big old eyes, and my eyebrows kind of pops up. You know, I got a little bit of the rock in me. I got
It works.
the people's eyebrow. Yeah, man, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like you're in the moment. You're really thinking about the other person. You know, we talked about reaction. Acting is about reaction. It's about being present with the other person and finding out what you're feeling right there. Because if I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to have a different experience than when I talk to you, and when I talk to you and you. And like we're going to talk about the same thing, but maybe we'll get a little serious and we'll be a little more silly, or like you and I will just like go off on a tangent because we're both ADHD or whatever. And yeah, I love Jasper, man. Thanks. Yeah, I went off on a tangent. We only have 2 minutes left. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I got more fan questions for you. Well, not for you actually, for Kellan. It's all right. Kellan, Melody R. from Wisconsin would like to know which of Emmett's one-liners or moments from the films do fans quote to you most often?
I mean, probably the wedding speech or didn't an older woman hot, but it also there's one, and I didn't mean to do it, but everyone like loves it. It was like, her name is Bella, and I'm holding the big old knife. But her name is Bella. And it's like, oh my God, that's so funny. I'm like, I had no idea what people were, because I didn't remember. I wasn't planning it. I was just cutting the stuff. And I was like, yeah. But it was like, oh, that's so like sadistic of you. I'm like, you guys read into things a little too much. But yeah, there's some fun lines, fun one-liners that I could have a lot of fun with. Yeah.
Well, we'll close out with this one for both of you. David W. from Illinois would like to know, were there any scenes that didn't make it into the films that you wished had?
Well, Davey Dubs, we got a quick answer for you. I honestly think I would have loved to have seen a lot more of the backstories, especially when Alice and Jasper meet. For me, the kind of like the way I hinged my character, the way I kind of like his cornerstone, his backbone was his relationship with Alice. Now, for Jasper, he was a character that was turned very young and a very pivotal point in his life and American history. And and I think he went very dark for a long time in his heart and his soul. He didn't really understand who he was. And then when he meets Alice, and she understands, not only is she assured that she can see the future, but like, let's say you meet somebody who can see the future, you gonna believe them right away? You're probably not. But Alice is critical. So we're gonna be like, sure, baby, you can see the future, and if I'm a part of it, I definitely believe you. Sure, I believe you. Sorry, I had something.
So you just want to see him flirting a little more, is what you're saying. Now people are just into the flirting.
Oh yeah, I wanna know the first song they dance to.
What do you think it is?
I have a theory. It's like old 1950s romantic song. I forget, I have it written down somewhere, but we actually talked about doing a little origin story kind of bootleg at one point. And it got written, and it was, we thought about making it. I don't know. I would love to do it. I think it'd be really fun to see. I want to see, how Emmett is saved by Rosalie. I want to see why he got attacked by the bear, What did he do?
We know why. Emmett thought he could wrestle a bear and find out. And yeah, you ever see the Revenant? Yeah.
Emmett's just in the woods, being like, look, that big old dog.
Come here, Bob. Everything looks great.
But
Thank you, guys.
so much fun. I think there's a lot of joy. What we all, I don't know what we all love about Twilight, but I know what I love about it. And it's this idea of finding eternity in a companion.
Yep.
Because that's what love is. Love is eternal. And love can be many, many things. Love can, I'm going to go Moulin Rouge. Love can lift us up. Love is an extended thing. But it is true. Love can have every single aspect. And we can be meanest to the people we love. And that's a really, really hard thing, I think, for society. So let's remember, we treat each other as strangers. We treat them with love, as the people we love in our lives who are there for us. And don't forget to show them that we love them and that we're there for them. And when we fight as couples, because we all fight, everybody's gonna fight, and make sure you fight for each other and for your relationship to grow together. Because you're gonna grow, and you will grow apart unless you push that love together. Love is an active thing. So that's what I love about Twilight, is you have these stories of love. And I'm straight up, you come to my line and you tell me you're engaged and you got married, and I'm like, oh my God, how'd you meet? Like how was the engagement? What'd you do? Because I love it. I think it's God's blessing for us. I'm a Christian boy, we talk about this a lot, and it's like, the forgiveness, forgiveness is what saved Jasper. You had forgiveness from Alice, and you kind of had to work on it for herself. And in my life, forgiveness saved me. Second chances gave me an ability to be here now. I've had many, many people in my life be very supportive, very loving, and a lot of it's from strangers, And I think it's really cool. So every time you do something nice for somebody, you're doing a nice thing for yourself. And remember to treat each other with love and kindness, because we're all on this little earth together, and we don't got long on it, so let's enjoy it. Have a great time. So thank you all very much for coming out.
Thank you.